Thank you for joining me this week for another episode of Limited to Limitless podcast. I'm so excited to have you here, and I'm so excited to have us to be on this journey together. It really means a lot to me to have you on this journey. So thank you. I wanted to ask you, do you ever feel like in your life, in relationships, circumstances and situations, do you feel like they are repeating themselves? Like, do you feel like you have relationships and then you leave that relationship, then you get to a new relationship and it ends up basically being the same form in a different person? This is what I want to speak about. When we are children in the world, we are purely in survival mode. Like, every part of us as a child is purely just to survive. Essentially, survival to a child is actually receiving love, essentially receiving attention from a parent, from the adult, from the caregiver that is in that child's life. It's so important to look here, because when a child is, if you have parents, for example, and the parents are unhappy, the children are unhappy. If the parents are happy, the children are happy. The children don't acknowledge how much food is on the table, what is around them, what house they live in. They don't acknowledge that. What the children is purely needing and absorbing from the surroundings is what they need to survive, and that is the attention of an adult. So then, what does it mean if a child has grown up with parents, adults, caregivers that are emotionally and physically unavailable? Like, what happens to the child? They need an adult's attention, because that's what they deem as love, to survive. So what happens in a child when the parent or caregiver is emotionally or physically not there? This will actually make a child, and it can go one of two ways, but it will essentially make the child feel like they are alone. It's all up to them. They have to depend on themselves to survive, and not anyone else outside of themselves. And in adulthood, that would then look like someone subconsciously and unconsciously, because it's not in your conscious mind. These are all beliefs in the back of your mind. You're not aware of this, but you will be naturally pushing away relationships, pushing away opportunities, because you feel like it's all up to you. And that is what love is. Love is you doing everything. Love is you doing everything for yourself. And there can be two sides of this. So the other side of the coin, from parents being emotionally unavailable, could actually fruition into a child, into adulthood, then they need someone, and being needy, and always looking for relationships, always looking for opportunities, always feeling lost without getting the thing, because they believe that the attention that they got wasn't there, the emotional need that they needed was not there, so therefore they go out searching for it. So you either go out searching for it, or you withdraw and you think that you have to give it to yourself. And if we look at, say for example, what I'm trying to say is, so if there was parents that were around for a child, but the child only received attention from the parents through abuse, through aggression, this is then actually going to make the child think that this is love, because the child is just trying to survive. So survival to the child is through that abuse. Okay, well, I survived through that. So yeah, you survived through that, but your subconscious thinks that love is that. So therefore in adulthood, that child is then going to be going to still be in the back of the mind thinking that that's what love is. So then again, unconsciously, subconsciously, as in adulthood, you're going to then be looking for a partner, opportunities, situations and circumstances that are abusive, because part of you thinks that that is what love is. And you're probably, if you are someone that's been in abusive relationships or been attracted in situations like that, you're probably always saying to yourself, why it always happens to me, or like, why does it keep happening? I don't want to be in this relationship, but it just keeps happening. And it's because subconsciously you don't know what love is outside of the abuse. You don't know what love is outside of the abuse. So you associate love with the abuse. So you may not understand why you keep putting yourself in that situation. Why haven't you left when they are abusing you? Like, why haven't you left? They're abusing you. But do you know why? It's because there's a child version of you that thinks that that is love. And you're associating love with the way that they treat you. You don't know any better. Have you ever had someone treat you good before? Have you ever had someone not be abusive towards you before? That will not feel natural. And I guarantee when you get it coming to you, you will avoid it, because part of you thinks that that's not love, because you are conditioned through the programs that have been created in your mind that the love is through abuse. And on the other side of the coin again, so say for example, like a family home and there's siblings, right? The two siblings can never receive the same life vision as each other, because the way that they perceive what is going on around them and in their life, even though they've got the same parents, each parent as well can never be the same parent to each child. They are a different parent to each child, and the child will perceive the same situation through their own lens. And there is 8 billion of us on the planet, not one of us views through the same lens. We are all individual people, and therefore we all view it individually. So if we take it on the other side of the coin, say there's two siblings, both get abused, whether that's physically, emotionally, violently, whatever it may be. One of the children in adulthood life will then maybe attract abusive partners. On the other side of the coin, the other child might then become the abuser, might then actually become the abuser, because that is the only love that they received, was through violence. So they are then subconsciously becoming the abuser, even though they didn't feel love from being abused from their parents or caregivers, but subconsciously in their mind that's what they think is the right thing. So then they actually become the person to cause and inflict pain on another person. There's always two sides of it. Not one is ever going to be the same, but there's always two sides. Always. And it's the same as if there was in a household and the parents were depressed, maybe relied on substance, alcohol, drugs, relied on that to get through because they were dealing with their own struggles, but primarily the parents are depressed. A child actually perceives it their responsibility to make the adult happy. A child believes it's their responsibility to make the adult happy. It's just a natural thing, and they blame everything on themselves. So if a parent is unhappy, the child thinks they're unhappy because of them. It's just what happens. The child will blame themselves, and therefore then the child believes that it needs to do something in order to make the parents happy. So this can actually show up in adulthood as, like in school, and there's always that class clown or the really funny kid. that's just so funny, or there's a friend that they just tell the most jokes and they're always so funny. Guarantee one of their parents were depressed, and that child learned that for them to receive the love and attention from their parents was through them trying to give them happiness. And how does a child do this? Through joking, through tricks, through trying to make people laugh. So then this actually transforms into adulthood as the class clown, as the joker. And again, on the other side of the coin, it could end up in someone, as in a child, then actually abusing substances again as well, or becoming depressed themselves. It can manifest in so many different ways, but each outcome for each child will always be different. And this is the reason this is so important, is because life will present us with circumstances, people and situations to show us where we're not free. And what does it mean when we're not free? It means that there is a version of ourselves that is still stuck somewhere in the subconscious mind. Somewhere out there, somewhere within, there is a version of us that is stuck, that needs our help to break free. And how can one know that they are stuck? How can one know that they need to break free from something unless life keeps presenting similar situations and circumstances and people to try and tell you life isn't happening to us. Life is actually happening for us. Like life, everyone that comes into your life is actually for you, to show you where you're not free, to show you where you're still stuck, to show you that there is a younger version of you that it feels like it's in prison, literally feels like it's in prison and can't escape. So life is presenting all of these situations and these circumstances and these people to make you aware of where you're not free. And for two, to make you realise and see the beliefs that you have about yourself, the beliefs that you have about life. This can manifest in so many different ways. And honestly, it's so important to get to know this and to know why you are. You're not just an unlucky person. You don't just keep having bad things happen to you. You don't just keep attracting the bad partners. Oh, why it's always me? Why do I always get the narcissist? Or why do I always get the bad job opportunity? Why do I never do that? Like, no. We need to transform that. It's not why is this happening to me, it's why is this coming to me? Because if something is coming to you, it means that you are actually vibrating at the same vibration to attract it. If you was able to see and to heal and to transform the part of you that believes that love comes from an abuser, if you was be able to see that you are so much more worthier than that you deserve more than that, and was able to open yourself up to feel safe with true love, with true kindness, with true compassion, then your vibration will elevate. And the abuser cannot even see you. You don't actually exist to the abuser. They cannot see you. They cannot see you. And why can't they see you? Because you're not on the same level. It's impossible. It's literally impossible. And because once you elevate and you transform, you've done the work. The work is done. The transformation is done. Therefore, once it's done, it is not possible for that to come to you. It's not possible for you to attract it, because why? You're already free. You're free from it. This is the point. We are so limited because of the barriers that are inside of us from the programs. I mean, we are literally, as we grow up, we are byproducts of our parents. We are byproducts of the adults and the caregivers in our lives that have imprinted from our own perception have imprinted in our minds, in our brains, in our field, in our subconscious of what our beliefs are, what our limitations are. It's all programmed inside. And this is why it's so good to know that yes, maybe you're attracting the same situations and the same partners and attracting it into you, but where does that stem from? And maybe, just maybe, you're watching this and you are on the other side of the coin. Maybe you keep getting in relationships and you keep getting angry and you lash out. Maybe you're the one cheating. Maybe you're the one causing the pain. But where does that stem from? Where does that actually stem from? This is where you need to dig deep. This is where we need to uncover and find out what the patterns are that were created from how you viewed and how you received love. How did you receive love and attention as a child? Was it through being naughty? Did you receive it through bad behaviour? Did you receive it from when you was being good? Like, how did you receive it? Question yourself. How did my parents give me attention that I made it mean was love? Because as children, we are all just trying to survive, and not one of us, whether you are the person conflicting the pain on someone else or whether you are the person receiving the pain, not one of us is 100% good or 100% bad, okay? Not one of us. We all have goodness inside of us. We all have a light inside of us that is just waiting to break free, but we are so conditioned from the limitations and the programs that are in our mind that we think that we are that. We think, oh, I am just the abuser. Oh, I am the one that always gets abused. No, I'm telling you, no. There is more to you. There is more to uncover beneath you. And this is just the start. This is just the start. And can you feel it inside of you? Because there is part of you, your soul, your essence, the core of you. That part of you is waiting to be broken free. And do you know what? Do you know who holds the key to the cell? Do you know who holds the key to the prisons that are inside of your head? It's you. You hold the key. You hold the key, and you are the very person that is going to unlock it. But do you know why you've not unlocked it yet? It's because you do not know what's outside of living by your programs. It's the comfort zone. This is the comfort zone. Yes, the comfort zone may be painful and cause suffering, and it's not nice to live in, but when the child version of ourselves doesn't know outside of that, it is scary. It feels like a threat. Oh, go get in a relationship and be treated like a queen. Be treated like a king. Whoa, 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 it's going to make you freak out. You're going to run the other direction. Purely because that child version of you doesn't feel safe, because it doesn't know what safety is within being treated that way. That doesn't mean that it's not possible for you. It doesn't mean that you can't break out of this. What this means is that we are uncovering the blueprint of the programs that were created to make you a byproduct of your parents. And we are transforming it over to the blueprint of your soul, to your purpose, to everything that you came here to be, because it is underneath your programs. So get ready to just rip away your programs, because the time is now. There is literally no reason why the time isn't now. What have you got to lose? What have you got to lose? Yeah, okay, it's gonna hurt. Okay, you're gonna uncover a lot of stuff. Okay, let me tell you, you're gonna uncover a lot of things about yourself, about your parents. But this isn't even to look at our parents in a bad way, because we actually chose our parents, and that's another story. But we chose our parents because we knew that they would give us the life to actually give us the suffering and the pain to be the very beacon and the thing that is going to break us free out the other side to open us up to our soul's blueprint. There's codes in every single thing. There's codes in your actions and who you attract, your surroundings. Everything around you is literally a mirror that is mirroring back to you where you're not free, but we are going to become free. And we're not just going to be free, we are going to be limitless. Okay? You've got this. I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy. But I believe in you. I believe in you. So join me next week. Join me next week if you feel called to. And we will dig deeper. We will dig deeper into this and we will uncover. We will uncover together. Okay? So I will see you next week. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. I really do appreciate it, and be excited because you are stepping into a whole new version of yourself that you have never been before, and you are not going to be walking around as your program, you are going to be walking around as your soul. And magical miracles happen when you walk around as your soul. Okay. Love, love, love.